we see now that we are actually emerging from the source field, that life is an emergent phenomenon that comes directly out of the basic laws of quantum physics. This was discovered very recently, just as the book was going to print. I'm so glad that I was a slacker and didn't get the book done on time, because as a result, I was able to get this study into the book, so important, from Dr. Luc Montagnier. Here he is in his lab, Nobel Prize-winning scientist who did this discovery, as you see in this headline, can our DNA electromagnetically teleport itself? One researcher thinks so. And if you read the bottom, it says, Nobel Prize winner Luc Montagnier describes a phenomenon in which DNA emits electromagnetic signals of its own construction, ghost DNA that can be mistaken by enzymes as the real deal and replicated in another place. Essentially, it's DNA teleportation. Now, this was all over the place. It was all over the science journals and everything. What you're seeing here is the actual picture in the middle describing how this was done. I like this image of him because here he's got 2 vessels of water next to him, and this is exactly what happened. He had one vessel of water that had DNA floating in it, just a little bit. And then another vessel of water, another test tube, that didn't have DNA in it. And it was totally sterilized water. And then all he did is electrify the 2 tubes that were hermetically sealed with a 7 hertz electrostatic signal, as you see where it says generator 7 hertz there. The tube on the left has the DNA, the tube on the right does not, but then after 18 hours of zapping, the tubes that did not have the DNA in it had all of the exact signatures of DNA being there. That's an astonishing fact. And it's very controversial, it's very cutting edge, because how in the heck do hydrogen and oxygen molecules in purified water turn into DNA? It completely boggles the rational mind. How in the heck could that happen? But it goes beyond that. This scientist, Professor Ignacio Pacheco, came up with this study, which is a big mouthful. But what we really want to focus on here is what he did. Pacheco takes a tube of regular water with sterilized beach sand that had been heated up to 1,000 degrees Celsius. He then lets it cool off, he puts it inside the test tube with the distilled water, he caps it off, and he sterilizes that, and then waits 24 hours, and this little scum grows at the top, which he called a surfactant, just to be scientific. Scum doesn't sound scientific enough. Now, if you don't sterilize the beach sand, if you just take this beach sand, dump it in the tube, sterilize the tube with the water in it, wait 24 hours, scrape it off, and look at it under a microscope, this is all you get. Just a bunch of blobs. The trick was sterilizing the sand. Just like in Montagnier's research, where he had those 2 tubes of water, he sterilized the water, okay? In this case, he gets these little guys growing in the water. But all it is in there is sterilized beach sand. This one actually looks almost like a brain. It's got 2 hemispheres. This clearly looks like it was the beginning of a plant that was growing. Obviously, it broke off in the course of going on the microscope slide. You can see where the stem broke off, and obviously the roots are no longer visible. And then even individual leaves started falling off from these little plants that were growing. Here's one of them. And here it is up close, an image of the cells inside the leaf. Very clearly a living biological creature, a little biological plant in this case. Here you see what looks like a red blood cell with a little diamond below it. That would be the silicon starting to crystallize. Now you see what looks like a white blood cell. Here we have what appears to be some sort of larger organism. It's a larger object. And in some of these cases, they begin to form a hard shell around them, almost as if they're becoming shellfish. This could be actually a spiraling little seashell starting to form. And then this guy, this is the one that really blew me away the most. You have a head, you have a body, you have a whole defensive system of spikes built around that creature. And I ask you this question, where the heck did his DNA come from? Where the heck did the DNA come from in Luc Montagnier's test tube that was zapped with 7 hertz electrostatic energy? The answer is DNA appears to be written right into the source field. It's written into the information that makes our reality. Now, not only is life being created by the source field, but it appears that you can beam in different codes to the source field and change one organism to another. This appears to be the real mechanism of evolution. And this was discovered by Dr. Peter Garyaev using nothing more than laser light. This is what he did. Here he is on Russian television. Here he is doing a lecture. So you can see this is a real guy. Here he is in his lab. Now, the research that he conducted involved eggs that were laid by a frog. The eggs that were laid by a frog were still embryonic. They hadn't gone very far. Then he has a salamander. He takes the eggs from the salamander and zaps them with a green laser and then redirects that laser light from the salamander eggs into the frog eggs. And by nothing more than that, the frog eggs had a complete metamorphosis and transformed into salamanders with no evidence of ever having come from a frog in the first place. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that the source field is the source of life. It is not random Darwinian mutation. Charles Darwin's father was a 33rd degree Mason. So do you think maybe there was a reason for them coming out with this idea that if you're the best killer, that you might be the most highly evolved on the planet? Well, it also, Darwinian evolution very conveniently removed the idea of a higher power. Oh, it can all be explained by random. It's just a bunch of things knocking together. There's nothing divine in the universe at all. You're just going to die and that's it. You don't exist anymore. Well, I don't believe that. I believe that human life, the DNA pattern that actually takes little particles, just like the water in Montanier's test tube was rearranged into DNA, little particles can be rearranged into DNA, and that DNA can have the full template to build a human being. Sergeant Clifford Stone, one of the Disclosure Project witnesses in May 2001, testified that there were 57 different varieties of extraterrestrial that he was exposed to in the course of his work for the Black Ops divisions of the government. 57 varieties of extraterrestrial, and they all looked more or less human. The gray with the big eyes is about as far deviated from what we look like as any of them, and many of them look a lot more like us than you would believe. So this could all be explained by this idea that DNA is a quantum emergent phenomenon.